Okay, so let's talk about the customization. For example, if you are going to create presentations, the only one part is that is actually very important is visualization. So visualization you can do with various type of graphs, charts, diagrams, and you want to convey something with using such styles here. So here it has the element section where you have a content blocks. So we are going to explore the content blocks, how you can use that to create engaging presentation or text. So first is about the timeline. So timeline is the strategic way to show timeline based, year based data. For example, if you want to show something about your journey or roadmap, you can easily create the timeline, but you can create that in very engaging way. So if you have used, so there's a multiple ways to add the timelines. For example, if you have used the ready-made templates, they also have a set of slides that contains the timelines. For that, all you need to do is click on the plus button and you can search along the all the timeline based slides here. For example, this can be your timeline, this can be your timeline which is about the roadmap, and if I select this, you can just select this and add your own data to it. For example, like here, you can add this to the year and you can add a number of data to this slide here. So similarly, you can also create timelines using their content blocks. So they have a different set of content blocks. As you can see here, all you need to do is just drag or drop here, or you can just click on required timeline here. So it's already set to the default color, which is a white color, and let me just add my own color here, for example this one, and you can add any type of colors you want to add to your particular timeline here, just like that. And this you can just add here, and for the differentiator you can add something like this also looks really good. And you can change text, you can add on elements like icons to it, just like the way you want. But the main part is, what if you want to create something that is, I would say, manually, and then how you can actually create that. So for the manual part, if you have any inspirations in mind, you can easily replicate that with the help of Decktopus slide maker. So for that, all you need to do is just search for presentation timelines. The templates you will see, as you can see, there are a number of templates that are available here, as you can see here. For example, this we can create this easily using our canvas. So how to create that? For example, so this has this rectangular shape and ended with this forward sign, so we can add that easily here. And they have this dotted line, as you can see here, just like this, and they have the text here. You can easily generate that. All you need is, first you can go to the elements and shapes and lines. So with the help of shapes and lines, you can create n number of things you can imagine. Okay, so for example, for this particular part, let me have this, let me short the width here, just like that, and add just like this. Or you can, this looks perfect. And now to fill this, you can use this light gray option. This looks perfect. And now if you don't want to show the corner sides, as you can see here, this is a corner side which is very pointy, and you want to add the corner radius to it, you can simply use this adjustable settings, and they have the corner radius here. You don't want to add 9493, just you need to add 234 just to show that this is something you want from your template. Okay, and now for the forward sign here, just like this. So for this sign, let me see if we have this in our objects. Okay, we don't have one, as you can see. So you have another option here. So another option is media. Go to the icons here, just type forward sign, just like that, or you can add the forward, or I would say greater than sign here. So these are the signs that are available as the icon, and they have millions of assets in the icon. So let's see which one will suit our project here, and just you can keep on scrolling until you find your desired one, and there it is. So here this much looks great. And now let's duplicate that with the Control C plus V. Let me just add that step, just like that, and to the end. There you go. And now you can multicolor it. For example, first is this, second is this, third will be this, and fourth will be any custom color you want, or in something. This looks good. So you can add text to it, as you already know how to add the text. Go to the element section and you can add the heading, text, and however you want. But we are going to add add this. So this is the pointing dotted line here. So if you go to the element section and click on show more, and there you have the dotted line just like this. Okay, you can add there. So you also have this pointers you can customize. For example, just like this, you have this like that. And to add more dashes or dot, you can select this. So you can also select the line size here. For example, this. Now you can do the copy and paste however you want, just like this, and there you go. Now you can start adding your text to the timelines, for example the year or any type of data you want, just like here. This is how you can create the timeline based data here. And you can also change the background the way you want, just like this, like that, which is from the standard. So this is about the timeline, and the same goes to the diagrams. So if you go to the diagrams, so in the presentation we have a different kind of diagrams, Venn diagrams I would say, or a different matrix. For example, if you want to compare with something, you can also add that here. For the diagrams, let me add the blank page here, and as you can see here, this is a 2-set Venn diagram. So these are the samples that are available. So let me add something from here, for example like this. So this is the 3-way Venn diagram. So as you cannot see the circles here, but there are circles because the circles filled with the background's color, which is white. And if I just select this, now you can see everything here, right? And you can fill that for the rest of the circles, and you will find your data here. As you can see, there is 3 intersection point for the 1 to the 3 to the 3 and 2:1. And now you can edit your text just like this. You can add the icons, and you can replace these icons as well. Just click on replace just like that, and it will start adding the icon with the respective colors and keeping the colors intact. So now how to create custom diagrams just like this, you can also do that pretty easily. For example, you want to create these circles as a custom manually, you can also do that. How? All you need to do is go to this elements. You have all kind of shapes available, and for these shapes available, let's just select this. And now first you need to fill your color. For example, I want to fill this, and now to make it look way lighter, then we need to add the transparency. So you see the blur icon or transparency icon here, you can simply make that just like this. Around 40 I think will be great, but around 50 is also much better. And now duplicate this, add this to just like that. And now to differentiate between the first circle to the second, you can simply darken the color just like that, right? And now let's add the third one just like here. As you can see, we have the 3-way Venn diagram, and let me add this to make it more symmetrical, and there you go. And now to make it differentiate from the other two, all you need to do is darken it, as you can see. And now you can add the text here. Adding the text is pretty standard here. For example, A, so this is about the A product. Okay, and now let me just do that here, right? And let me just copy and paste this, add this as a B again here. See, now you can add any form of icon to the intersection points, and for this all you need to go to the media, and there's a set of icons where you can simply go ahead and add that here. For example, let me add the Facebook icon here in the middle to differentiate that just like this. And now if you want to be an inch perfect, the placement or the position to be inch perfect, you have 2 options. First is the size and position. You can easily fluctuate between the X to the Y axis, as you can see here. So for example, I want this to the right and to the Y, up and down, but you can also use your up and down keys here. For example, these keys, you can use that as an up and down. So for the up, for the down, just like that, just like you play games, right? So you can also use this to make it an inch perfect here. And now you can change the filling color the way you want, just like that, or the much darker will be better. There you go. So that's how you can create your Venn diagram. Now this is very basic, but if you want to create something very unique, so you can also get all the ideas from the Google. For example, here a presentation, I would search for the diagrams here, and if I click on the diagrams, we have a different kind of diagrams available here. You can easily go ahead and see which one actually suit your project of better. For example, here is one of it. We cannot add these gradients or I would say the shadows like this, but we can replicate that easily. So how to do that? So for example, this kind of a complex, we can use all kind of shapes and transform this. For example, we have this, so we have this outer line here, we need to build that, and to build that first we have a circle here. Okay, and now for the fill part, you need to make it a transparent, just like that. Boom, it gone. Don't worry about it. We need to add the stroke here, and to add the stroke, we need to highlight this stroke, so size will be this. I think this is much better, as you can see. And now the fill will be, I think this, so this will be our fill here, right? And now it has all sort of circles around it. You can easily add that as well. For example, this will be our first circle, or you can just make it a little bit bigger. There you go. It shows the radials around the circle here, for example, like this. And let me add that here, right? So for this to play, you can fill with the gradient. For example, this has the gradient, or to make it something like this, what you can do is go to the darker side, just like that. Here, make it a bit darker, something like that. This looks good. So it does look like a gradient to you. So this can be your first. And now adding the icons here. So you can add the gradient in any form of a color. For example, let me add this here. There you go. And now for the second color, this one, you can choose the other color, just like this. For example, this, but for the other color, you can choose something like that. And you can, add the weightage to each one of them, just like this. So this is something like here. Now you can just duplicate this, fill the color as a solid, or something like this, or something like gray one. Going to the gray one, let me add this as a gray, this as a black, something like this. Let me add the positioning. So when I add more weightage to the gray, same goes to here, something like that. Yeah. So you have all the background here, just like this here, right? And we can add the shadows as well. For that, give me one moment. And so now is the time for the icon. For example, this is the icon we need. For this, we can just simply blend that here like that. And let me color this to be a lighter, so this looks great. And to add the shadow, you have actually various options to do the same. For example, take a picture, mask it. For example, the circle, mask it, circle. Let me add this circle, just like here, right? Or then you have this effects option, add the shadow should be huge, right? And now let's position this to the back. Now for the position to the bottom here. So as you can see here, now you have all the background here, just like that, right? And let me add the position to above. Yeah, so there you go. So this way you can easily add any type of form, any type of graph, and you can copy and paste same strategy to the rest of the elements here. And now it also have this stick kind of circle inside. You can also create that. And how to create that, just have this circle. Okay, this is the mask anyway. So let me go to this and add the circle. So now we have a circle here, right? And let me fill that with this color, or you can also fill that with the help of a pattern. But let me give you an overview how you can fill that here using this, right? And now duplicate this, adding just above it, and now fill that with the transparent. And now add the stroke with the white color. So stroke will be off like this, some border like this, and using the arrow keys, you can set the position here just like that, and boom. So this is how you can plan your layout. So this way you can create any type of diagrams using this. So hope you get the point what I'm suggesting here. So if you don't have the templates inside your own selected ones, then you can easily create that from the scratch using this technique. So this is about the diagrams here, okay? And now moving forward to the image blocks. So what are the image blocks? So they also have the standard image blocks here, but you can also play around with it. For example, if I go to the Google here, presentation image block, so you can find a different way to add the images, okay? Image galleries, I would say. Yeah, so you can add different type of grid, something like that, to your presentation. So same way we can also do that. For example, here you have a media. So these are images that is all available to you. Let me grab this one here. So to resize this particular image, for example, I want a Pinterest style sliding image to the left part of the screen. For example, here first what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a separator. For the separator, I will add something like this. There you go. And something like, yeah. So this is the half, and let me fill this with something. This looks pretty neat. Yep. And now going to position that to the bottom, okay, right? And now we need to add the slider, something like this, and need to add the slider. And now if you're going to move this, and for example here I selected this, but this has moved from its position. For example, this is your ideal position. To fix that, all you need to select is the object lock option. So here now it's fixed, we cannot touch anything else, right? So this image has been selected. Now you can resize in any form, just like that. Obviously the background image will move accordingly, but we can set that. So for example, here what I want, just like this, and I want a corner to corner radius to it. For that you need to go to the effects, there's a corner radius, and add some corner radius to it. It's actually way bigger. This looks cool. And now we can also add the shadow here. Shadow is a must for the presentation. And let me add the opacity. There you go, right? Duplicate that just like it, right? So Now if you want some part of the image visible to this particular card, what you can do is just double click on the image, so you have the whole image in the background. So all it is, you can drag and which part of the image you want to be visible on this card, and there you go, just like that. And the same way we can copy this, paste that, create a pattern just like this, duplicate this, add this, duplicate this, add this, right? We can also add something like that. We can add the effects. We can also add the effects here, for example this. Now to give a fading effect, we can easily select the same color of this. Now we have this fading effect, as you can see here. So this way you can add the fading effect. Just select the object and go to the effect, add the shadow, and you can also increase the fading effect just like that. There you go. And now you can start adding on the right, and you can also add any background elements using the object. So this way you can easily customize your image blocks here. And now to cover all other parts of the image, you can also fit to the page, and you can also resize an X and Y position. That's however you want. You can also flip that. But one thing which I need to give you right now, you can mask any image to any form of shape. For example, here you have selected image. I want this to be in the flower type of shape. You can select this, click on apply mask. You have all the objects available here. So all you need to do is select the thing you want. I wanted the flower. There you go. I have got the flower. And now let me resize this. You can resize it here just like this. If you want to make it expand that a part or the side of the image, you can easily do that with the help of this. I think this looks perfect, and you can resize like that. But now same way, if you want to show a visible part of the image inside this mask, you can just double click on it and you can show any part of the image just like that. There you go. And now you also have the same effects like with the image. For example, if you want to add the border of different color, for example here I want to add the border of this color, we can easily add that border as you can see here. And now you can also add the shadows to it like we have discussed, just like that, and things goes on. So this way you can apply the mask. Now talking about the mask, let me add another. Now if you want to blend that image with your logo, you can also do the same. So how to do that? For this you need to have a SVG format file. So what are the SVG format? SVG format file is usually for the logos, which has the format which is for the web. So if you have the .svg file of your logo, you can simply blend that in. How? Just select this image and click on the replace, upload the file of your .svg just like that, and click on open. Now it will take the shape of your logo. Just wait for it. There you go. So there it has taken the shape of your logo. And now to make a visible part of your image, you can simply drag and drop here just like that. This is actually the easiest way. Now it also has all type of effects, for example the background, shadow, corner radius, and things goes on. You can easily remove the mask too here. There you go. So this is about the content blocks of the image. Now coming forward to the list is also pretty standard as you can see. So if I apply some here just like that, let me fill that in. For example, yeah, this looks good. Let me add this again, something like this. Okay, so we have a different color for the different team member. And now this type of list you can create. If you want any inspiration, you can simply go ahead and type list, presentation list. You can see there are different kind of lists. You can easily create that just the way I already told you earlier. And the same goes for the icon blocks. So there are different type of icon blocks, and same goes to the guest. So the gallery is something which I've already told you. You can easily create and mask in any form of object or form of, I would say, the elements, like with the star, with the circles here. It's actually pretty same, right? And now coming forward to the next part, which is the tables. Tables is also play the integral part if you are providing some analytical information to your prospect clients, or want to present some data to the webinar or something like that. You can use the tables here just like this. So here first you need to add the header. For header, for example here I want to add the product here, and just press tab. It will move on to the right side of the header, and sales in 2024, sales in 2025. And now to add one more column, you have this little 3-dot icon here. Just click on it. If you need to add one more column, you can easily add that here. For example 2023 here. Now as I can see, the 2023 is here. Okay, all I can do is you can click on the move to the left here. 2023 is here. Now click on the move to the left. Now it has come to the first. Now it's 2023, 2024, 2025. You can also click on the sort by ascending or descending order, however you want here. So now to add the table headers font, you can go to the table settings. You have a sidebar here with the dedicated table options. This is for the cells. So the cells this is not yet entered here, let me add that as well. For example, first product is SEO, so sales are something like this. Just add any number for the demonstration, and for the social and for that let me add any demo number here. There you go. And now you have a font family from there. You can change all type of fonts here. So this is for the sales only, this is not for the header. So now you can make it a bold or something like that. You can change the color. There's advanced settings to make it look centered, as you can see. There you go, right? And the same way you can do to the header to make it a center. So now to make it a bold, you can easily do that with the header, either changing the header, or you can just click on this black here, so it will create a bold, and there you go. So now it looks pretty neat. And you can change the background of the header just like this, and to make it visible, so this looks perfect. And now, so these are the headers. So headers, either you can add to the first row, you can add to the last row, you can select the last row as your header. For example, if these are the headers that is selected. So now going forward to this, I think this is the perfect. And now going forward to the borders, you can add the borders. For example, this is visible borders. So if you want to create the size of the borders just like this, you can go ahead and add that as well. So this is how you can create. And now moving forward to the here, the only negative part of this is you cannot size it to make it look bigger. So this is the only negative about this particular tool, else it's all right here. So now we also have these three to add a row. For example, if you want to add another row, you can simply add that here. And if you want to move this row above, just here click on it, move up. And for example, if you want to move down this particular row, you simply click on the move down, it will move down. Maybe okay, yeah. So this is about table. You can easily use this. And if you want to add transparency to your tables, there you go, you can easily use. So this is about the tables. This is how you can customize the table you want, and I think that's enough. So this is about the element section. This is about how you can easily or manually add these stuff to your. And moving forward to the media, you have a 3-4 options. You can add GIFs, you can add videos. And talking about the videos, for example, I want to add this particular video, you can do the same just like the image, like that. And if you want to have the visible part in between your frame, you can easily double click on it and it will change that here. So it also have the trimming option. If you want to trim certain part of your video only, you can simply go ahead and add that. You can also add the mask. For example, you want it to be in the circle, you can easily do that. You can also silence the video, for example, like this. There you go. And you can also add the transparency or something like that, the way you want. So going to the next media option, which is the GIFs, you can search for the GIFs as it is integrated from the Giphy. You can search for any type of GIFs and add it to your slides. For example, you want to add something to this, so let's search for the team. So you will get all type of GIFs related to your work. For example, something like that, you can easily add this here. You have an effect option of this. You can also search with the transparent backgrounds like that. You can add this here, something like this. This is actually pretty neat. And you can go ahead and something like here. These are pretty neat actually. Or you want to add some shades to your objects, you can simply add this. Looks pretty cool, right? But it's not that professional. Anyway, so this is how you can use media elements to add a little engaging touch to your slide. So in the next part, we are going to cover the use cases. For example, if you don't want to pay for the Decktopus, don't worry about it. You can use the free version and create a script using any bot. For example, there are Gemini, there are ChatGPT, and there are endless bots that are available. You can use them to create all the scripting, and we can use those script and create a new template from the scratch. What we are going to do the next.